The horror comedy, The Dead Don't Die, features a zombie apocalypse that has an unusual cause. Directed by Jim Jarmusch, The Dead Don't Die sees the small town of Centerville being invaded by a horde of the undead. With a star-studded cast led by Bill Murray and Adam Driver, The Dead Don't Die is more than just a typical zombie movie. Instead, it differentiates itself by including comedic elements and social commentary while still featuring the gore and violence associated with the horror genre. The Dead Don't Die premiered to mixed reviews with criticisms about the pacing of the movie, especially because it had the potential to be great. Despite the criticisms, Adam Driver's zombie movie has seen a resurgence on streaming 5 years after it was released. Distinct from most zombie films, The Dead Don't Die sets a different tone, as it leans more towards the comedic side. So it makes perfect sense that even the cause of the undead creature's invasion isn't something that's commonly seen in zombie films. Polar fracking caused the zombie uprising in The Dead Don't Die. The character's ignorance in The Dead Don't Die played a role in the zombie uprising. In most of the best zombie movies, the rise of the dead is caused by a virus. Jarmusch's film deviates from this trope and uses a new concept, that of a zombie uprising being caused by polar fracking. There are a few clues in The Dead Don't Die that point to the beginning of the undead apocalypse, such as the sudden change in the time the sun sets in Centerville and the disruption of cell, TV, and radio signals. Despite the signs, the characters in the film don't take anything seriously and woefully ignore the clues that spell their doom. As news reports come in, it becomes clear that polar fracking is the explanation for the unusual events happening in Centerville. Basically, polar fracking caused climate change which resulted in the dead rising. Although there's an explanation for the zombie invasion, there is no rush to find a cure for the people who became the undead. Instead, The Dead Don't Die mainly focuses on how the character's ignorance is as much the cause of the zombie apocalypse as fracking. What is polar fracking? The real-life process explained. Polar fracking is a technique used to extract fossil fuels from the ground. Dean holding a newspaper. Polar fracking isn't a new concept on the part of The Dead Don't Die. In real life, fracking or hydraulic fracturing is a method used to extract oil and gas from the ground, via Greenpeace. When it's done in the Arctic regions, it's known as polar fracking. Fracking is controversial because the extraction process results in air pollution and harms humans. Although The Dead Don't Die doesn't spend a lot of time explaining how polar fracking caused the rising of the dead, the film inherently comments on environmental damage and resulting catastrophic events.